hell is that?
This is the hell you have created for yourself.
I'm just standing up for my rights as a consumer.
Well, hello. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. We're here for another Rogues Gallery. We're going to see some cool projects, talk to some awesome creators. But before we get into that, we're going to introduce our co-hosts. Katie, what's up? What's up?
Dope.
How's your Thursday? Is it amazing?
It's awesome because over here it's Friday.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Nah, just kidding.
But you still have another work day, so it doesn't really count as Friday yet.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Well, let's see how Stephen Walton feels about his Thursday. How's it going, man?
I'm feeling great. I had some coffee the right way, and I'm ready to work tonight. Let's do this. What we talking about, gays? Who we got here tonight? I want to see some independent creators.
Oh, you're going to find out in just a moment. But before you do, say hello to Vinny. What's up, Vinny? How you doing, my man?
Hey, guys.
What's up, Vinny?
Pretty good. How's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Every time you show up, I know I'm gonna laugh at some point, so I'm good. I'm good now. You're like my happy pill. If you was a woman, you'd get it. I mean, you might still get it, but you know how we roll, Vinny.
A woman with bark.
What? No.
Anyway, Robert Shepard, how's it going, my man? Thanks for being here. Comics mates in the house. How you doing, Dean? Good to see you, brother. We got Tina Bojan here as well. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Your book's in the mail, by the way, Tina. Thank you very much. Brightest Days in the house. What's up, my man? Hail to you, sir. Wookiee supremacy. So the force is female, indeed, and I fuck the force like this.
I might have to yell a little bit.
Jesus. DJ Odyssey's here as well. What's up, man?
Oh,
Good Lord. So yeah, we're off to a rip-roaring start here. Speaking of, Johnny Cage is here as well. What's up, man? You're the tree that gives him shade, Vinny. There you go. What a compliment. What a compliment.
Like
wow.
It was a compliment.
Not true. This is how false narratives are spun and perpetuated. We're fighting this kind of shit in the media, and y'all just keep perpetuating these lies about it.
Kill a beaver, save a tree.
The victim narrative is strong in this one. We're going to say hello to our first guest. What's up, man? Introduce yourself. Let the people know.
What's going on, guys? My name is Stefan Velez, otherwise known as Oasi V.
and I am the creator and writer of The Veil Walker.
Your name is Stefan?
Stefan Velez.
Like,
Yes,
I'm gonna tell y'all something. We had a little bit of a dick measuring contest before the stream started, and he won. And now his name is even cooler than mine, and we got the same name. This ain't fair, Stefan.
I'll tell you guys a story.
Like you're the biggest dick. He has the biggest dick, or what?
He made me change. He made me feel like a slob. Susie, look at that back. Look at that smile.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like to get hit on every now and then. Thank you.
I mean, why were you measuring your penises?
Why wouldn't we?
Looking for jab space.
That's the question.
Are you measuring who has more splinters in them?
No.
I think we know the answer to that question.
Someone's trusting the science.
Did you had a story for us, Stefan?
I did. I had a story about my name. So obviously my name is Stefan. A lot of people pronounce it Steven. But I asked my mom, hey, Mom, why do I have a European or typically white name, being born in Puerto Rico and whatnot? She tells me, hey, do you remember Family Matters? And I was like, of course I remember Family Matters. She said, do you remember when Steve Urkel went into the machine and came out cool? And I was like, yeah. She's like, what was his name? And I was like, Stefan. And she's like, there you go.
That's great.
20 years later, I come to find out my mom lied to me because I was born in 1990 and that episode didn't air until like 94. I still don't know where I got my name from, but okay.
Unless she was just a really big Steve Urkel fan, she kept watching that episode.
She knew it.
Right.
Before it came out, she knew it.
She knew it was coming.
That's a great story, but she obviously knew what would motivate you and what would make you feel pride. So that works. You just shouldn't have looked into it, is all.
Right. It worked for 20 years. But,
Technically, it's your fault.
Yeah, you know what's messed up is when they used to make fun of me, they called me Steve Urkel back in the day, and I never got that. So now I'm even less cool because he's Stefan and I'm Steve. I don't like this show already from the jump.
Yeah, you're just the Urkel up there in the corner, man.
If you have problems with your own self-conscience and self-conscious, and you don't like our show, what's wrong with you, man?
No, I just meant my place in the universe right now.
Steven, I need to hear you say, did I do that?
No, fuck no.
I think the chat wants to hear that.
I think they do. Give it to him.
Did I do that? All right.
There you go.
Anything for the chat.
Let's say hello to Peter Charon. Hail, my man. Good to see you, brother. Great supporter. Matthew Berkland is here. What's up, man? He says in North Dakota, if you plant 10 acres of trees, you get 160 acres of land.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Good to know.
And Indie Wrestling Aces is here. What's up? I think that's you, Edwin. Good to see you, man.
Hell.
But yeah, Comics Mate says we can all start calling Steve Urkel if it'll make him feel better. I think it will. But instead of that, for the moment, why don't we talk about something cooler, which is Veil Walker number 1?
Oh yeah.
And we got a series of questions here, my friend. And I already spoiled the first one for you, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on that because I know this is probably one of the most difficult parts.
Warning, Stefan, they're all going to be very personal questions, maybe slightly uncomfortable. We're sorry about that.
I live uncomfortable, so we can go. I'm ready.
Steven's just uncomfortable anytime he comes in the room because he just knows.
I'm done.
But yeah, let's go with number 1. So we want to hear the elevator pitch for the Veil Walker.
So before I give that, I've been getting some messages indicating that I probably have the best looking book with the worst elevator pitch. So I guess it's the universe balancing everything out.
Gotcha.
But let's give it a try, right? So the
that was a good elevator pitch.
That was it, right? Yeah. No, so the Veil Walker.
Hey, self-deprecation works for me.
100%. So the Veil Walker, let's see if I can get through it, right? So the Veil Walker takes place in a world where a very small percentage of people are granted something that's called the gift. They're born with it. The people who aren't born with it are called the giftless. Now, what does the gift do? It allows you to control your mana and cast magic. So basically, there's sorcerers, there's magicians, there's all that, right? And above this sort of small population of gifted individuals is the Order of the Veil Guard. And they are sort of tasked with overlooking everything, making sure everything stays secret and no one finds out, not just about the gift, but about the Veil. And the Veil is a mystery that we're going to be diving into in the story. And basically, that's where that creature that you're looking at comes from. So now, what created the Veil? What's beyond the Veil? And why these creatures are passing over is one of the many questions that we're going to be answering. But what is our main character's role in all of this, right? Alexander Salvador, or the Veil Walker.
If I can interrupt you, Stefan, we actually have that's one of our questions. We will get to the character, the heroes that we'll talk about in depth.
So we will cut the elevator pitch there. Thank you for the save.
Oh, no problem.
So you say granted by? Can we know who grants those gifts, or is that a part of the story we can't know yet?
You can't know it yet. You'll find out. Back to book.
Okay.
Here's a hint.
Uh-oh.
It's not Christ.
Do you know why elevator pitch is called elevator pitch?
Why is that?
You don't know? Seriously?
No, it's like you.
Oh, you're actually asking a question.
Yeah, actually, so it's you walk in an elevator. Let's say you run into some type of promoter, some Hollywood bigwig, and you have, as long as that elevator ride lasts, to pitch your idea. That's why, at least that's my understanding of it.
Yep, and it just imagine like you have like a 3-story building, so it's gonna be like blah, blah, blah.
I had somebody give me an elevator pitch that was like 5 minutes long, and I was like, "That's a really long elevator."
Damn.
Well, there's a pitch, and then there's an elevator pitch.
Yeah.
They're hanging out in the Empire State Building.
Hail to the chat. Thank you guys for coming here. If you could share out the link, smash the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Let's support indie creators and make some noise for them out there. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for this chat on YouTube.
Let's get this to 30 at least.
Yeah.
My buddy Eric.
All right. So we're going to move right along, and we want to find out a little bit about you, sir. So now we just want to know all about Stefan, where you come from, other than, being lied to about the origins of your name. What got you into comics? What kind of guy you are. Where are you from? What got you motivated to create is really what we want to know.
Sure. So we'll go with really the basics, man. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1990, so I was around for Dragon Ball Z, Batman the Animated Series, X-Men, Spider-Man. That was my first sort of diving in point into what comic books are. Started with the animated series, grabbed a few video games. I'm not sure if anybody remembers, there was this Sega Genesis X-Men game. I never got past the Magneto stage. It was so difficult. But mind you, I was like 6 years old at the time. And that's really what sort of got me into it, along with Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, and all these classics that came out in the 90s, late 90s, and early 2000s. And at one point, I kind of just got the bug to write some stories, create some stories with my buddy HP the Droid, who is my co-editor, co-creator on a lot of these projects. And we've just been rolling, man. I created the Veil Walker, I would say about 8 years ago, and actually started creating the project about 6 years ago. And here we are today.
Are you just writing short stories, or you just start writing down short stories, jotting down ideas, or did you go right into
what it was,
yeah,
they were high concepts initially. So I remember hearing a sort of quote, I think it was Stephen King who wrote it. It's like, when you're creating stories, it's something about like a cheese grater, and like the good stories stay on top, all the bad ones kind of fall through. So I just continued to create high concepts and coming back to them time after time. And if I kept coming back to it, I knew it was something that really needed my time. And I started doing that, and eventually the one who got the furthest along was the Veil Walker, and we just kept working on it.
So you do have other ideas that you're eventually going to want to do?
Yes, I have them all over my office, honestly. If it wasn't such a mess, I would show you. But yeah, I have a bunch. If you guys want to see it, let me know. I'll share it on my Twitter.
That's great.
Beautiful. Absolutely, we want to see it.
By the way, I do know the X-Men game you're talking about, and this is going to drive you bananas. There was a cheat code where you could actually get to that last level using Nightcrawler from Danger Room. Bam.
There you go.
Bamf.
I have a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2. I need to find a Sega Genesis in that cartridge because I am going back to it 20-something years later. I'm going to play it. Watch.
That's how I feel about Blaster Master from the NES. I still haven't beat that last stage, and every now and again I come back to it. But
now watch me not get as far as I did when I was a kid.
Oh, that'll happen. I guarantee that'll happen, at least initially.
It'll take you 15, 20 tries. You could do it.
Yeah, that's not like riding a bike. That's I've tried going back to several video games that I used to just play the crap out of when I was a kid, and yeah, I'm terrible now. Awful.
It's tough.
Damn, Red got old. You're an old man now, Red.
It happens. What's up, Craig Pellet? How you doing, my man? Good to see you. This is another guy you might want to talk to about getting on a stream. He also does promotion. But good to see you, my friend. And let's move on to number 3. Now, the universe of Veilwalker itself. Is this? I'm assuming. I make a lot of assumptions here. I'm assuming this all takes place on planet Earth. Maybe in like an alternate timeline or an alternate dimension, maybe?
No, it does. It actually takes place in modern day, right? What I like to call it, and what we thought we came up with, but apparently it was something that was already being coined, was a modern urban fantasy, right? So it takes place in modern day, and yeah, there's a huge universe that we're creating. You're actually, perfect segue, you're actually stopped on one of the side characters. This is called Rome. And he is Alexander, who is our main character's protege. And eventually we hope to sort of spin him off kind of like Nightwing. So you guys can kind of see where that relationship is going to go. Or maybe even the Red Hood. Let's see.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool, man. So what kind of organizations are in this world? Is it organizations that we're dealing with, or is it just like individuals?
No, it's an organization. So the Veil Guard, right? The Order of the Veil Guard is sort of what you would consider a government kind of structure for the gifted. They have elected individuals to sort of govern at the very top, and they have branches, kind of like the military or the armed forces, right? One of the branches is called the Inquisitory branch, to which Alexander is the Grand Inquisitor. So he's basically the head of that branch, and we'll be meeting other heads of other branches and other leaders, and there might be friends, might be conflicts. Let's see what happens.
Very cool. Yeah, Johnny Cage likes to roll up here and remind us all how old we are. He's just a young buck.
Thanks, Johnny.
But yeah, Johnny's a cool.
What up, baby?
Yeah, thank you for stepping on my head when I'm drowning. Appreciate you, John. Every time. Love you in the chat, brother.
Hey, Alex, good to see you, my man. Thanks for stopping in, brother.
Hell.
Time Prophet's here also. Good to see you, my friend.
Hail, Time Prophet.
Heck yes. Alrighty, so let's move on to the question that was teased earlier. So let's talk about the heroes.
The heroes. There's
or protagonists, if you prefer. So a lot of people say, well, they're not really heroes, but per se, but interchangeable.
So I just want to apologize. Sorry if you guys hear barking. I actually just got a 4-month-old corgi, and he's being a little, he's being a little brat today. So we're trying to figure out how to get him to hush up. But
that's all right. Honestly, I barely hear it.
I appreciate that. So here we go. The protagonist, right? Because I don't know if we can call Alexander a hero just yet. We're kind of pitching it in a way where we want people to sort of find out what his intentions really are in regards to the story. So Alexander Salvador is his full name. And as I mentioned earlier, he is the leader of the Inquisitory branch of the Order of the Veil Guard. And he's a great mix, right? At least I consider him to be a great mix. I took inspirations from Spawn, from John Constantine, from James Bond, and really just combine all those together and created what I think is a cool and sexy character, a very masculine, strong, traditionally 90s character. And that's what we're looking at.
That's awesome. That's what we need more of. I really enjoyed the 90s, especially the early 90s. I think that was kind of peak as far as I'm concerned when it comes to comics. The 80s were good. But I just, I really, there's something about the 90s that I just really loved. It's probably just a nostalgia thing because that's when I really, really, first got into comics. Like I read them as a kid, but it didn't really become a hobby for a while. I was still playing with He-Man and reading those little mini comics and whatnot, and G.I. Joes. But yeah, I really, really got in my my roots into comics in the early 90s.
I mean,
so
all kinds. So go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead.
I definitely nostalgia for me, the 80s, 90s, but the 80s, a lot of fresh ideas that came out in the 90s. They were being, they had to push boundaries because a lot of the stories had already been told, and that's what I really liked about that era was you were getting, different ideas than you had in the past. Innovative shows, stories, comics. That's what I enjoyed the most about it. And I don't really think it's ever been the same since. It just seems like the last, I'm sorry, Vinny, like the last 10, 15 years, it's just been like a retellings or reimaginings. That's all we've gotten.
Pretty much. But
today the word reimagining is very dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
I'd
say the late 80s, I think it started with that because around the time like Batman '89 came out, that's when the surge really started happening because you got the talent was there over at Marvel and DC, well, mostly Marvel. But yeah, you're right. It's what grew out of that was pretty cool and pretty special in like the early 90s.
So just to preface that, I actually got a corgi because one, it is the Queen's favorite dog, and two, Cowboy Bebop. I wanted a dog the moment I saw Ein on Cowboy Bebop. And it took me damn near 25 years, but we finally got him.
That's awesome, dude. See, entertainment. See, that's what a lot of the industry professionals do not really understand. At least the ones that take over these damn IPs, not the creators, but the ones who take them over, is how much of an impact these entertainments have on our lives. How much we love them, how much we're willing to spend on them, to how much we make them a part of who we are. That's beautiful to hear. Are you looking forward to the Netflix Cowboy Bebop?
I was initially. But for me, I've been able to sort of separate the original because the original is always going to be there, right? Nobody's taking the original away from us.
Right.
And the remakes. Final Fantasy VII is a big point. I know we're on a comic podcast, but I do quite a bit of gaming. When Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced and then they were doing all these actual gameplay changes, people were throwing their hands up in the air. I'm like, guys, the original's still there, right? Yeah. It's still a masterpiece. So I've been able to separate that. So I will watch it. I'll give it a chance, but I don't have high hopes for it, honestly.
I gotta ask Bo Billingsley. I'm friends with him. The voice to the original Jet Black. Maybe I'll even get him on again, and we'll discuss the Netflix one. That might be fun.
That'd be a good idea, Vinny.
It would be.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said Final Fantasy, Stephen. I feel like we're forming a bond today, Stefan.
We are. We are.
Keep the ASMR for later.
Yeah,
maybe
be careful. Be careful.
Look, I promise to be your friend if you keep whispering in my ear like that.
Oh my
friend,
God.
Stephen. He said friend.
Someone else is looking for that shade.
We make special friends. Pale Rider. Like Pale Rider. Love you, Pale Rider.
No, dude, I don't understand one thing so far. Why haven't you shown the core yet?
You guys want to see? Well, you guys want to see him, or you want? Let's get through the answers, and then
the Queen
I'll bring them in.
Of course.
Yeah.
You heard the boss.
All right. Well, we talked about heroes. Let's talk about some villains. You can't have great heroes without great villains. Well, the Corgi might be a villain. I don't know.
The Corgi is a villain to me. He has his own Twitter account, and he absolutely roasts me every opportunity he gets. So you guys can follow him.
He's a tyrant.
He is a tyrant. You guys can find him at Comics Pup, and give him a follow. He mostly just bashes me at every opportunity.
I like him already.
But the villains, man, the villains are going to be vast, numerous, but there are going to be some reoccurring villains. I actually have one hanging on my wall, but I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, we really went into the 90s media, and not just comic books, but we looked at some of the greatest villains in manga, some of the greatest villains in anime and video games. and we let ourselves be inspired by it. Villains are going to come from a lot of different areas in the world of the Veil Walker. They can be human, they could be gifted, they could be government officials that are trying to expose the Order and the Veil Guard. They could be creatures from beyond the veil. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. I think Alexander himself might be very close to a particular villain that we might see in issue 1. And that villain is going to be reoccurring, and I really want you guys to enjoy it. So I'm not going to say too much about it, but yeah, there's a reoccurring villain that already shows up in issue 1, and I think it's going to be great.
I like how you've created so many different antagonists. That's great. You know, you can get too bored if you only have like one group of enemies, and that shows that you put a lot of thought into not only your enemies but your heroes, because you've got to have them. I guess they would have to overcome adversity in different ways depending on the type of villain that they're fighting at the time.
Right. Yeah. So and villains can also just be antagonists, right? Because Alexander functions in one way that might rub other people the wrong way. They're not really villains, right? But they're antagonists. They're people who have different views from him. So in regards to the Veil Guard, the Order, and some of those structures that are going on. So yeah, it's all about inspiration, man. The Veil Walker is all inspiration. I am a storyteller because I am inspired to tell these stories, and I just hope it works.
Yeah, man. And Alex's comment here, like that makes me wonder. I know I will sometimes, when I'm coming up with a name for a character, will actually look into the meaning of different names in order to name that character. Does anybody else do that? Or is this purely coincidence?
I've done that too.
So I'll tell you this. Salvador in Spanish means savior. So his name is Alexander, protector of man, savior, apparently. So, and that was total coincidence in regards to the first name. I just like Alexander. But I'll roll with it. Yeah,
it's a strong name.
It was totally planned out. I knew it from the beginning, man.
It's like your mom and Steve Urkel. My God, it's a family trait.
It's a conspiracy. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. Starts from the top.
Speaking of Alexanders,
you're gonna be
a fine name.
Alex, you're gonna be on Friday Night Tights, I hear. How's that gonna go? You gonna run the show?
I am. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'll run it. I'll run it to the ground. We're gonna take out the New World Order that way as well. It's gonna be fantastic. Thank you.
By the way, I don't know if it's only me. Did you notice too, guys, that Stefan, whenever he's like giving the page in a way that he's gonna give you the information, but he's never gonna give it all away.
It's like he's teasing it, right? Like when a guy says just the head, like he means it.
I've been called a tease before, so
yeah, I can totally see that. I really like this.
There are too many perps in this chat on this channel today.
What are you talking about? So, Ryan Cardinal's here. He's not a perv. The Guilt Man's in the house. He's not a perv. What's up, guys?
Hell, my future ex-husband. I'm sorry, I'm flirting with another man while you're
okay. Well, you're right. We got the perv right here.
Yep, there he is.
Hi, Thomas.
There he is.
You're flirting with another man? He was drinking the water in Jersey. He turned him gay. I knew it.
Yep, a little bit of that. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up, Dick?
Oh, Pale Rider says still cleaning up after Hurricane Ida. Oh, hope it's going well for you, man.
I hope you guys are all right, Pale Rider. I know there's a few people out in the industry. Clobbering times, his house got destroyed. If you see that GoFundMe going around on Twitter or social media, if you guys could share that out, appreciate that. Like, even if you can't give, just sharing something out might help him out. We appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's get to our last question. NyRiam, are you ready?
No, yes.
No, yes. No. That's pretty indecisive.
Of course, that's that's just diversion for the enemy.
Is that what it was? When you diverted me, I went squirrel. I don't know.
That means you're the enemy.
You will like that question. You will like that question, mister.
Why are you always coming down on me? What do you not like me, NyRiam?
You want to know why?
You're always giving me crap.
Do you want to know why?
Oh yeah, it's because you're a giant and I'm a little guy.
She is an unmarried human female struggling to succeed in a human male's world.
Maybe that's just her excuse for being incompetent.
Silence!
I have a question though. Define little guy, because I'm a little concerned about my height sometimes.
How
Then
tall
don't
are you,
talk
man?
about it with NyRiam, all right? Because you don't understand.
No, the question is, how tall are you?
Me?
No, her.
I asked first.
I'm 5'8".
Yeah, another chippy.
Just don't do it. Tell her she brushes balls.
You shush and dangle your legs. I'm 6'1".
Amazonian, okay.
Right, you know, you see her in the woods hunting freaking giant bulls and shit. Yeah.
All right.
Giant bulls in the woods.
What are you doing with those bulls?
You know what Steve fantasizes about?
All right, yeah. Well, definitely in the woods. We know he fantasizes about that.
Well, we got. I shouldn't have said woods, man. That's messed up. I love you guys. Hail the chat.
All right, number 6.
So since we already started this beautiful topic, my question for you: if you had to stick it in a tree, what tree would you choose?
If I had to stick it in a tree, what tree would I choose?
What kind of question is that?
We're not supposed to treat the guests like this, just Walton.
Gee, if I had to stick it in a tree, what tree would I choose?
Yep. For example, which bark is the softest? You know, you can even ask one of the panelists like for the best advice ever.
Oh, you're setting somebody. I told she hates me.
I would say, wow. I look, honestly, I there was this girl in high school I knew. Her name was Arbol, which stood for tree, so it'll probably be her.
All right, that's the best answer I've ever heard.
I mean,
I was kind of hoping you were going for a serious question, and Steven would have a partner in crime. So
he found a loophole in your absurd question.
Yeah.
Stefan is the better Steven every time, and I'm not liking it.
Yeah, Steven, you didn't find that loophole. I'm sorry.
you know, sorry about that, guys.
Nice pale.
Well, yeah, that you guys weren't kidding when you said that there were random questions at the end, and that's a good one. I liked it. Thank you. You made me think. I gotta give out.
This one even took me off guard.
I gotta hit up Albert on Facebook apparently. Let's see what's up.
I thought it was gonna be something about the dog.
Speaking of dog, so 2 things. I actually have an announcement that I made on my campaign earlier today. I made an update. If you guys will allow me, I would love to tell it here.
Absolutely.
Of course.
All right. So the book was originally 21 pages. We had a stretch goal to increase it to 25 pages. There was some unfinished art that we wanted to make sure that we can get, and we had found a natural breaking point in the story at 21 and 25. So we tried to figure that out, but I'm actually announcing it here that we don't have to hit the stretch goal. I'm going to go ahead and increase the page count of the book from 21 to 25. So that's in celebration of us funding in just a couple hours yesterday. And also, in celebration of that, I went ahead and unlocked the first 2 stretch goals that are all the way at the bottom. We can go ahead and show them. I actually have it here in person too. Just a little further. And there it is. So we actually unlocked these. Let me see if I can show you guys.
That's gorgeous, man.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
That's a printout.
A little bit more.
There you go. So we unlocked these.
Oh, yeah.
And then we also unlocked this right here.
Awesome, man.
So all that's included just for backing the book.
Excellent.
Awesome,
yeah, that's
man.
great to hear, man.
Thank you.
Great to hear, brother.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna
You guys want me to grab Kiwi? His name is Kiwi, by the way.
Kiwi, nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll be right back. Let me grab Kiwi.
All right.
Throw that link in the chat. Everybody go check out Veilwalker right now. I often mix this up for Voidwalker because I'm an ex World of Warcraft addict, and Voidwalkers were big things there. So,
you know what?
And we are 1 like away from the Destin 30, guys.
Beautiful.
Hit that like, and we're there. Never mind. We're there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you
also
very
have
much.
our usual beautiful 7 dislikes because why the hell not? It's free.
Why is everyone's spare time filled with talking trash on me?
I don't know what you're referring to. I'm looking at the chat here, and I see
Ozzy last night.
Perfectly innocent comments.
Oh my god! Morning.
Oh my god!
There you go, Steven. There's some cute to calm you down.
Thank you.
Doesn't he look just like I'm from Cowboy Bebop?
Oh yeah,
that's adorable.
I want a kiwi too.
You can have this one.
I want to say that.
Damn, that's love.
You ready to get rid of him already?
Mail post or in a box or
you're gonna have to come pick him up. I think.
Damn it.
Yeah, he's been a handful, but honestly, after quarantine and everything that's going on, it's been a little rough being isolated over here in Orlando after moving away from Miami, where most of my family is, and he's been great.
That's good, man. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it's good to have some support.
Yeah, man, brother, congratulations on how well you're doing on this campaign. I love seeing independent creators succeed, dude.
Thank you.
It's been a wave of creators for the last couple of years. We've had some great ideas come out, wonderful campaigns back, sent out, shipped. Like I say, guys, if you please share out the link to this campaign, because every book sold is the FU to the industry that hates us. So let's support indie creators who care about what they're producing, care about what they love, care about the fans, and understand what we've been going through with these different franchises being appropriated. With the only way we're going to succeed is by supporting one another and supporting indie creators. You never know who the next big hit's going to be. So thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate you.
And I'll tell you guys the best part about this campaign, at least what I believe is the best part about this campaign. The pages are currently being colored. They have a deadline of September 31st. It's September 30th. I forget how far the month goes. Actually, let's say October 1st. Our campaign closes on the 8th, and the PDFs should be in the mail or in the emails of all of our backers around the 9th or the 10th. And I'm planning on shipping out the first batch of books to arrive to you guys before Halloween. So
beautiful.
This book is going out pretty quickly.
Beautiful, man.
That's sweet.
That is great.
That's highly appreciated.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, good work, man. Let's say hi to Brian Christie. What's up, my man? Good to see you.
Yeah,
we have a Stubby in the chat. What's up, Michael Bancroft? How you doing, man?
What up, Stubby?
Hey, Stubby.
As you move the stretch goals to the bottom. He's gone places.
Thank you, Michael.
I take it that was Michael's advice.
Yeah, it was great. Michael, thank you so much for having me on yesterday.
Guess what about's here? Good to see you, my man.
Always
good to see you guys. But don't want to throw you up. We want to rush things along here and bring on our next creator. Thank you very much, Stefan, for coming on. And anytime you want to come on, just reach out, my man.
And reach out to me too, Stefan. I got a little bit of a man crush. I don't mind
geez,
just let me know. And we're good.
Listen, I like getting hit on all the time, so just hit on me. We'll be good.
Remind you that you're sexy, right?
Thank you.
Nice. Right.
Thank you, guys. I want to thank you guys for having me on. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity, and I want to thank the chat for all the advice they've given me, the support to all the backers that we have, and thank you. I'll let you guys get to the next guest.
Man, congratulations, onwards and upwards, brother.
Have a great one, bro.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, brother.
When it comes to tips, never trust a Stubby.
What?
Well, I mean, why? Like the tip on a Stubby is like half of it.
Hater. What if he's having a bad day? What if it's pushing rope?
What the hell, Steven? You always think it's
that's where I thought you were going. I'm sorry, NyRiam.
No, it's not always about you. I was talking about the actual Stubby in the chat.
Oh, okay.
The man who drinks from the baby bottles.
Okay.
Like a Bancroft.
Exactly.
He drinks from baby bottles.
He does. But the link for Veilwalker is in the chat. Check it out. I'm going to bring in our next creator and talk a little bit about Dig 2 Graves. Jim, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, brother.
Up, Jim.
Yeah, going to be the complete opposite of the last guy. Go from young, good-looking, nice background to old and tubby with a very bland background.
That's
hey,
all right.
Listen. We got all sorts around here.
Yeah, Johnny's in the chat. He constantly reminds us how awful we are. You're good, Jim. You're a star.
And if you quickly change your name into Stefan, I think Walton's gonna have a crush on it too.
No, you don't understand. I like big guys too. I do not discriminate.
No one is immune from Walton's charms.
Yep.
That's in quotations, by the way.
My chloroform. Let's roll.
I'm a big guy.
Oh, Jesus. Mancroft says I haven't had a stubby in months, trying to ward off a beer gut. Yes, Johnny Cage says you're welcome.
Yes, we appreciate you, John. Thanks. Keeping us on our toes.
Absolutely. So, Jim, I hope you're prepared for question number 1, which is usually the worst one for folks, but here it comes. We're looking for a straight up elevator pitch for this book.
Yeah, I'm also just terrible at these. I've been doing cons and selling books for years now, and it's always fun. So I'm going the Hollywood route. So I'll just tell people, think Kill Bill Mad Max meets gritty noir. And that's kind of my short burst to people when they ask.
Bam. There it is.
Right, straight up.
In your face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the best thing to do. About the boobs, guys.
It's the best thing to do, especially when you're giving an initial pitch, is just one sentence. If you can condense it down to that, and then you're golden.
Yeah, it's a good way to catch people. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah, I'm still one of those. I'll just go off on a random tangent, just keep like, so anyway, it's about, and then just like 10 minutes later, I've noticed they've left, and I'm talking to myself.
Oh, Jim, I'm the same way, man. I'm writing a science fiction series, and I just can't stop. I just keep, because there's so much involved. It's hard to condense down an idea.
You should have heard the first time Walton pitched this to me on a stream.
Oh my
God. That was like a 35-minute elevator pitch.
It was pretty bad. I went through like all 7 novels I went through.
It's like if the power went out and you were stuck in the elevator for a day, that's the pitch Walton was.
I got you.
Brad, tell us how you really felt.
No, it's all good. No, I get it, man. It is difficult, really, to condense, like, especially if you have a really broad universe and it's something you've been working on forever. It is difficult to just condense that down into a couple of sentences. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's always fun, especially when you're like working a Comic-Con. You're next to somebody who's just like a used car salesman, throwing out pitches to everybody who walks by, and you're like, man, I should really be like that. But
right.
Some people are built differently.
Yeah, some people got the gift, man, and some people don't. I do not have the gift.
Sometimes that stuff is annoying though, because I've been next to them as well. It's the same spiel over and over, and you just like, can we just be real with folks? So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely say that it's annoying when you sit next to them all day, but then when you see like that fat stack of cash they're rolling in, you're like looking over at yourself. You're like, maybe I need to just annoy myself that way.
Are you taking notes?
Yeah, right. I want that cash.
Oh, by the way, Fishchozo is looking for a way to shut down his Indiegogo campaign. If anybody knows the answer to that question, just hit him up on Twitter or something. Let him know. So I know I saw him ask earlier, and I hadn't had a chance to really look into it yet. But yeah, welcome, my man. And Wookie, I don't know what's going on with Wookie. He's just over here spitting all kinds of weird stuff, but that's okay. That's why we love you, man.
Wookie, it might be Med's time, bud. Just letting you know. Full glass of water with him. Thank you.
Wookie's good places.
Frankie's in the house. What's up, Frankie? He says Frankie. Walton's stuck in an elevator pitch. I kept hitting the emergency button. Ouch.
They're all dicks. Love you.
We got Sandy in the house. Good to see you, Sandy. But yeah, let's move on to number 2. Now, Jim, this is where we learn a little bit about you. You mentioned you've been doing this for a long time, in conventions and whatnot. But what really got you into the world of comics and storytelling, and what drove you to want to create?
Yeah, so for me, I started writing and reading. Well, I got my first comics when I was about 8 years old, and that was like the Chris Claremont X-Men run into the 90s. And then when Jim Lee and Image and all them took off, I was pretty much all in at that point on comics. I started writing my own comic stories, usually like my own X-Men stories, because I wanted to write and draw them. So I'd write like a 4-page, comic book, and a whole story in those 4 pages. I'm sure it was amazing.
Right. So are you a writer and an artist?
I wish it would make my life so much easier.
I wish.
Yeah, my art kind of reached its peak, and I'm like, it ain't getting much better than this, and it just wasn't at the level I like. Like I tell people, I draw well enough to get my point across. If I need to storyboard it real quick for somebody, I can do that.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't put my art in a book and actually try to make people pay for it.
Yeah, I just want to mention the white trash in me is really turned on by this panel. I like this. It's very pretty. Thank you.
People love that panel, and like I get different reactions from it every
No,
time.
it's great. I
It is
really
great.
like it.
So yeah, so thankfully I found an art team that's really good that I'm working with, so they make up for my artistic shortcomings. But I liked writing, so I just kept with it. As I grew up, I did like writing screenplays, short stories, things like that. I took a break from comics around mid high school, because back when I was in high school, it was not cool to like comics, and you didn't have a chance of a date if you were going around talking about comics too much. So.
Yeah, listen, man, when we were in high school, none of the stuff that everybody enjoys today was cool.
Oh yeah,
we're the ones that took all the shit for it.
Yes,
the benefit for nothing.
Yeah, I was born too early. I didn't get to enjoy all this. But yeah, so I got back into it when I, a little bit older, early 20s, and then I realized I like to tell my stories and I wanted to get them out there. So comic books was a medium I enjoyed. It was a good way to, it's something I could do. Whereas like I enjoy writing screenplays, but just saying I'm going to make this a movie isn't as easy as a task. So that's kind of how that evolved.
Yeah, absolutely. And something I think about comics, the whole, I don't know how all this kind of really started when people are really getting disinterested with the mainstream. It's one of the, I mean, I don't want to say easiest because, it is a lot of hard work, but it's one of the most realistic ways of getting your stories out there. It's just, it's a lot less expensive and less of a hassle than getting like a movie made or even just like a pilot, like a fan film. But yeah, I'm really glad to see all these comics coming out. And my hope is we keep moving in that direction, keep, bucking against the mainstream and make good stories in all kinds of different mediums.
Yeah, definitely with like mainstream, like movies and everything else, it's become so formulaic that there's no real, innovation in anything. And, you go into any comics and there's just such a wide array of stories.
Yeah,
it's nice that you actually have options, like if you want to read about something crazy, there's a good chance there's an indie comic about it.
Absolutely, and they're original ideas, and the passion is there. Like you could tell a project that is passionate in it, and that's what I really like to see. Because some of the people in the industry, they're just like you said, they're formulaic. They're just doing the same thing over and over. There's no real inspiration there unless you have a gender studies degree, and then that's trash anyway.
Wookie says y'all want to see a wet wipe after what I did to the wipe. Well, thank you, Wookie. That's very disgusting,
Wookie,
but appreciated.
That sounded explosive. I'm gonna give you a reach around for that one. That's maybe a taint tickle.
Oh boy.
What about this one? How do you feel about this one?
I feel that Time Prophet is perpetuating false narratives, and I'm against that. I stand against that. As your historian, Jim, how many how many different stories do you have? I mean, is this your favorite, or do you have other stories in the works that you're going to be putting out in the future?
Yeah, so this one has actually been in the works for quite some time. I actually started the story around 2008. And then at the time I had another book I was working on. It was called Rebel Yell. And it was kind of more of all encompassed in one issue. It was like a tongue in cheek Monster Hunter, kind of like Monster of the Week type of thing. It was supposed to be really campy. So I ended up doing a few issues of that first and put this on the back burner. But those were the first books I was really actually going all out, printing and publishing. That's kind of where I did a lot of my learning. And then when I came back, I really wanted to get this story done. I was really excited about it. So I actually had the first book kickstarted. I want to say I was going over the dates yesterday. It was like something like 2016, 2017, with a totally different artist. And it, we got funded. It was great. But then the artist would like take big chunks of time where he just disappeared. And then like it took a year from when we finished to actually get him to finish. So I kind of had to, I was like, I can't move forward that way because there's just too much time. So I actually had to start over. I found a new art team. And so when we started with book 2, I realized I got to go back and redo book 1 as well. So I've done book 1 now twice. So I wanted my artist to make sure that the art and the color and all was the same. So anybody who backed the first book originally will get another copy if they wanted of the new book with the new art.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but there are, and to answer your question, I kind of went off on you. I do have other books that are in the work right now, a couple with the artist already. So hopefully I'll be putting something out about those shortly.
Very wonderful, brother. Good to hear.
Hell yeah. Got Aerith Saga in the house. What's up, man? One of the crack pack, I believe. Good to see you, brother. Creators Outlet says Wookiee just woke up Walton. He did, indeed.
He did. It's very excitable.
Walton apparently loves dirty reach arounds. I've heard that. It's not news.
Filthy, not dirty. They got to be filthy, Tommy. It's got to be like maybe smeared mud. Like that's what I need. Thank you.
He wants to know where your hands are, Stephen.
Below the desk.
Wookiee says, sounds like the way I get artwork done. Oh.
We need to just saying we need to show Pale Rider his favorite cabbage lady. So since we have a nice lady on the screen already, so there's his beauty.
There you go, Pale Rider. This is what you come here for.
Exactly.
Excellent cabbages. Brian says this looks terrific, beautiful art. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Snowdub, my brother. What's up, my man? Thank you very much for that $2. Says hashtag Jolly's back, hashtag trans fat, hashtag cotton connection.
Hail,
yeah,
brother.
man. Hail to you, sir. Absolutely. Sandy says, what is this? It's it's a combination of promoting awesome projects and being strange. It's probably the best way I can put it. It's it's all part of the gays agenda.
That was another beautiful elevator pitch.
Jay, what's up, my man? Says, hey guys, nice art. Have any of you seen Shang-Chi? I have not.
Probably going to see it tomorrow before Saturday, before Rogue Entertainment. I'm going to watch it. So
I'm allergic to soy sauce.
Oh, are you? I'm sorry to hear that, Vinny.
I'm sorry to hear that too.
Glad it wasn't mozzarella. You'd have been screwed.
We're going to move this along a little bit and get on to question number 3. Now let's talk a little bit about the universe of Dig Two Graves. Where does it take place? What kind of organizations we got going on in the world? That sort of thing.
So the book is essentially set in like South Texas. We don't name anywhere specific though. It's just kind of alluded to the area, just to kind of keep things open. As for organizations, a lot of stuff is going to be revealed through the books. Like I said, so there's a lot of different branching storylines that really start to take off in issue 2. So you have the main hero's story, which is the girl you saw, Miranda. She kind of, she's walking into this world with no understanding of what happened other than her family was killed. So again, my books, or at least a lot of them, I like to base them in reality to keep things semi-plausible as best as you can. So it's definitely set in the real world in this case.
Cool. All right, so it's basically just modern day.
Yeah, like I said,
Awesome,
it's not like cheesy movie where it's like London Saturday 5:30 something like that. But I mean, you get the gist of where it is through the story.
Right. Yeah, man. There's plenty of awesome stories that take place in the modern day. Even they don't necessarily have to be supernatural or superhero or anything like that either. There's a lot of cool drama-driven stories.
Well, it is. I mean, because you can extrapolate from the real world. That's where I started with mine. Was you look at the way things are dealt with in our modern society in the real world, and then you can apply that with a fantastical element, and you can create alternate history. You can play with events, and that's one of the things that I like about revisionist history. When I'm writing, so that sounds cool. There's nothing. That's a good setting to live in that story.
I'm a big fan of like the old 70s, 80s revenge movies like Mad Max or Rolling Thunder, if anybody knows that one. So I really wanted to take one of those those gritty stories and just set it in the modern world with that little bit of a new twist on it. So, but you keep that grittiness in those movies. They're very violent. They're very dark. They're very character driven in a lot of them. You would assume there's a lot of, just intense violent action, which there is, but for big chunks of it, it's about the characters and getting to know why they do what they do. So that's what I wanted to achieve with this book.
I mean, the artwork is great. Who is your art team? This artwork is really good.
So my artist is Von Randall. He's a guy out of the Philippines, and then he recommended the colorist Kevin DeCastro, who he had worked with on other books. and he really liked the way his colors worked with his, I guess, his line work, and so that's who I went with. And yeah, I love the way it came out. Like I tell people, say, well, worst case, if you don't like the story, you'll love the art. So
yeah, this art's fantastic.
Yeah, they did an amazing job. I got really lucky. So.
Oh yeah, and I already know this right here is turning Steven on. He loves when women step on him.
I love it. Yeah. I hope there's a little. Is she talking trash at the time? Because that makes all the difference.
I mean, hey, you know what? If whatever affects the sales, if people want her to be just talking trash the whole time, like I'll go in and do a quick rewrite.
Dig it.
It's for you. It'll be like penciled in lettering right on top of it for you with the new letters.
The Walton edition.
Yeah.
What's up, Parrothead? Good to see you, my man. Of course, he threw out the coffee enemas as well.
Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me of that painful history. I appreciate you.
Oh, you love it. You love it. Speaking of love, let's talk a little bit about your heroes.
Walton, how many kinks do you have? Johnny Cage. I'm sorry.
All of them.
Quite a few.
Is it quick to list the ones you don't have in that case?
Perhaps. I just keep discovering new ones, and I love YouTube.
So the heroes of this book, like I said, they start. So the main character is Miranda Stone. That's the woman you've been seeing in most of the pictures here. So she's a soldier who's returned home, and within the first book, her family's gunned down and killed, her son and her husband, and she has no understanding of what happened. So for her, she's trying to unravel this world that she slowly finds herself getting into. And again, we're trying to make this come off as she's technically the hero, the protagonist, but I want it to be seen as there's really no, quote, hero or villain in the traditional sense. I mean, obviously people do bad things, people can do good things. But I mean, when you're out killing people for, your own satisfaction, at some point you have to start wondering, when are you the villain? So that's kind of where we want to go with the story.
Steven.
I never think like that. I just keep murdering people. Sorry.
Well, I mean, that's the Punisher's route too. So, but yeah, but in this case, she's the main protagonist, and it starts as her story. Like I said, there are many stories that start to branch off in issue 2, that are as she gets further into this world.
Cool, my man. All right, so she's pretty much is the protagonist of this particular story.
Yeah, so it's her story. But like I said, there's more than just the finding out and start killing people. There's actually a nice world with different elements and stories that all come together. So my hope is this is it's going to be 12 issues total. So the story will have a conclusion, and each issue runs a little over 40 pages. So for right now, this is actually the Indiegogo. We're just doing the graphic novel, so you're getting 1 and 2 in one book.
So can you give us any idea of her background, or do we have to wait to hear that?
So yeah, so you have a little bit in the first book. She is a soldier who's returning home from her service. For her experiences, I have a lot of friends who are returning servicemen from various deployments over the years, and I wanted to incorporate their experiences and what they're dealing with currently.
Nice.
So there's a lot of that in this book. She's not just coming home happy. It's she's dealing with what my friends were returning home, not just with PTSD, but just that transition that's very difficult for a lot of them.
That's beautiful. That's good. That's good.
So I wanted to incorporate a lot of that. So that's kind of where she's at in the beginning of the book, and then of course you add on top of that her family being murdered, and then the whole question of why what
coming
happened.
coming home trying to find normalization and balance, and then coming into a situation like that would set someone off edge, and how she deals with it. That sounds like a pretty complex character. I'm looking forward to reading it.
So I'm trying to incorporate as much authenticity to the character. So I told my friends who like I said, who helped me in my research, I want them to be able to read it and be like, yeah, that feels right. That doesn't feel like it's Hollywood. So
well, it's also something that Hollywood today wouldn't really confront, or entertainments, because soldiers are bad guys, and supportive, fighting for your country, you're a bad guy, having patriotism, and you're also talking about a segment of the society that doesn't get the attention they need. Our veterans do not get treated well. when they come home. The services are not there for them to help transition. If anything, they're pushed throughout into society and left to their own whims, and you never know what's going to happen. So I like that you're confronting these topics in the story with this character, and that's a beautiful thing. It's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more, and it adds depth, and at least for me.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was definitely when I spoke to them about just PTSD in general, a lot of people's understanding it comes from, like Hollywood, people just assume it's like non-flashback, that kind of stuff, and they don't realize there's a lot of different things people deal with that you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Right.
And again, it doesn't get too heavy because I want to keep it to where people read it and it gives them something to think about, but not beat them over the head with it type of stuff. It's there. And it's honest for anybody who, like I said, who may be familiar with that situation because they were or had somebody returning. So it's there and it's presented that way. But again, the story itself has a lot of different facets it'll eventually go into as it progresses through the 12 issues.
Nice, Jim. Nice. I like hearing that. Yeah, it'll definitely connect, like you said, to people that have gone through that situation or have family members that did. But the best way to get a message across is, you're right, not to beat them over the head with it. Just present it as it is, as a part of the story. So that sounds great, Jim.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of just telling a good story and letting the rest just happen naturally. So
absolutely, I think that's the best way to do it.
Like a creator.
Almost, yeah. But real quick, guys, Katie has to take off. It's very late for her.
Yep.
And she's got work in the morning, but thank you for sticking it out as long as you have. We appreciate you.
Always.
Absolutely. Always great to see you, Katie.
Always.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for having me on.
Real quick before Katie takes off. If you haven't checked out Bond yet, it is in demand. It ships out immediately, so grab it. The link's in the description below. And we're going to get right back to Dig 2 Greens.
Do it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Night.
So close.
Good night, Katie.
Good night, Kate.
Have a great night.
Thanks. Bye.
Now it's a sausage fest.
It is, which is a perfect time to discuss the villain.
So for this one on the villains, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt if you were about to say something.
Oh, no, it's all good. What I normally do is just kind of, throw out something to lead the conversation in that direction, but you're already on top of it, Jim.
I'm just
Jim
so
knows what he's doing, Red.
He does.
Bothering him.
Listen, I'm used to guests like you, Walton, okay? You don't know what the hell they're doing. Jim is a pleasant surprise.
Pleasant.
Now I'm just going to go silent and be like, oh, I can't think what I was going to say, and it'll just ruin the whole movie.
It's Steven's fault. Everyone knows it.
So, but no, so my big goal for the villains on this one is I didn't want to, I mean, if you have somebody that murders somebody's family, you're going to just automatically go, well, that guy is just evil and bad. And I wanted to avoid the twirly mustache classical villain of I'm just evil to be evil. So you're introduced to the main, what you would call the main villain, really in book 1 and 2, Arturo Morales. But the hope is throughout the book, he has his family and his, there's a lot going on his side that we haven't touched on yet. You'll really see more of that in book 3, where my hope is people will actually not necessarily side with him, obviously, but they at least will feel the character isn't just, a straight up evil guy. That's not my, I don't particularly care for those characters as much, but so that's kind of where you're getting a little bit of introduction in book 1 and 2.
Wait, Jim, so you write your characters with complexity?
I try. Now, I mean, I say that now, and if somebody reads it and goes, this isn't complex at all, I'll be like, well, shit. But that's the hope.
No, I really like that. I like that a lot. You're right, because just your white and black characters, your good and bad characters, they get boring. It gets stale. And if you create, especially an adversary where you can you can sympathize or understand or in some way,
like a forest fire.
Oh my God, I hate you. Sorry.
Forest fire can be a complex villain when it comes to a protagonist like Steven.
Jim, I'm trying. See, they're setting us up. I'm trying to help you.
No, it's just been a while. It's been a while since I've been on stream with you, man. I got to give you shit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but I enjoy that. That's what I do when I write my antagonists. Is I don't want plain. You don't want straight evil. You want something with depth.
What's wrong with straight evil, you sons of bitches?
Yeah, they give us jabs. Fauci.
No, we give you boosters. Take your boosters, pray to the Fauci out.
Yeah, see, now that's right there's an example of a complex villain, right? Somebody who's had their hands in it the whole time. Comes off as the hero for society. No, not the case.
Pale Riders, like, sometimes you just have to reason to murder a family. Just saying. Like,
wow.
Well, brother, I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there needs to be reason. There needs to be reason. No, I absolutely agree. Evil characters just for the sake of being evil. If it's not like, say, some kind of slasher horror or something, because I enjoy that. You know, a lot of those characters are just evil for the sake of being evil. But if you're actually trying to tell, you know, a story that's not just like, you know, a popcorn flick, then yeah, complex characters are essential, especially villains. Mm-hmm. I've always been a big proponent of you have to make a more lovable villain than a hero.
Well, one day I want to be a slasher villain. I have a scalpel and I have needles.
You're well on your way, you sick bastard.
Perfect.
In those cases, the slash was the only time I actually don't want to know the villain's backstory. That always seems to ruin it. I don't know, just on those, that's the one time I say that's the exception. Those are great that way.
Freddy Krueger's was good. Like what the original for Nightmare on Elm Street was good. And then they just kept building on it and ruined it.
I don't know. Dream Warriors is pretty good.
Dream Warriors was good. No, I'm talking about the later ones.
Yeah, when he's busting out the power glove, that kind of got a little.
Yeah, that's got to go.
My origins are simple. I was born as a rat. Then I started working in these places. I started developing my own viruses, and then I poisoned everyone for the global new world order. Thank you.
Got to make that money.
I suppose so.
Millions.
But yeah.
Fuck Fauci, shit. Sorry.
Who is is there a primary villain in this story, or is it more of a societal villain?
So yeah, I mean, if I had to kind of narrow it down, yeah, Arturo Morales, the guy you'll be introduced to through book 1 and 2, you would consider him like the primary villain in this case. But there's other, like, I know I'm kind of vague, but that's just kind of how I'm playing it at the moment. But there's going to be a lot more stuff introduced throughout the next few books. So
I got you. Well, there's nothing wrong with vague, especially when it comes to certain plot points. Yeah,
I can see why I'm always making a ton of Comic Cons with my sales pitch. Like, well, I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I'll say you'll like it, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it. So it works every time.
Absolutely. Well, we got one more question, and it's the weird one. So be ready. NyRiam came up with these questions. So yeah, just so you know, that's a disclaimer. Okay, so she gave me 2 questions, and I'm trying to pick her. Maybe we'll just do both. But one of them is, what would be the worst buy one get one free sale of all time?
Lord.
Vaccine.
I gave you a hint. I came on screen.
I mean, I guess if I'm just going to go with the theme, I'll say the buy one copy of The Last Jedi, get a second one free.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good answer.
Good answer, sir. Both are trash.
That was an awful film. The worst. The worst up until Indiana Jones 6 comes out.
Harrison, I heard they're putting painted dots on your face to de-age you in the movie because you look too old.
I heard Kathleen Kennedy should be pushed in front of a moving truck.
Wow. Is the truck? Does the truck recognize
the opinions of Harrison Ford do not necessarily reflect those of the gays community.
This is true.
Yeah, he's outside the gays community.
I'll be driving the plane that crashes into the truck that hits Kathleen.
All right.
Let's go say hi to Phil real quick. What's up, Phil? Good to see you, man.
Hey, Phil.
Hellrider says, worst buy one, get one free sale is a kid.
Oh, real? So give away 2 for 1 shot.
I guess that would be like twins, right?
Yeah, that's what twins. I think that's what he's saying.
All right. The other question she threw to me is, what sport? And Pale Rider's going to enjoy this one. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
He's going to say
Well,
sports.
I say hockey just because you might get some more fights out of it.
That'd be the best part. Yeah, NASCAR.
NASCAR. What are you
It would keep that one nice and short. After about 3 laps, you're like, well, the race is over.
Well, the best part of the crashes, you know. So.
Airhead said a Walton anima kit is the worst. Buy one get one free sale of all time.
You may be able to purchase a funnel with Walton's Best when it comes out. That may be a thing.
Wait, that's not going to come with it?
No, I do not endorse that type of behavior, but
No,
if that's what you want to use it for.
Lies.
Just saying. What do you mean lies?
He said lies. Like you're lying.
I'm not lying. I do not endorse coffee enemas of any fun. Look, coffee goes in your mouth, not up your ass. All right.
Well,
lies you tell.
I would say that's your opinion, but that's not actually accurate.
Well, it's a good thing Gwyneth Paltrow's not on. She might disagree for some reason.
I'm saying,
she give you an enema scented candle.
Tommy's making those. That's disgusting. What's that going to smell like? Butt coffee.
Well, I think you got a pretty good idea what that's going to smell.
No, I have no.
They might be able to flavor it, so you might get like French roast or something like that when you're done.
Yeah, just walk into the next room where you performed your procedure, and you'll find out.
So bad.
But yeah, guys, check out Dig Two Graves right now. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would encourage you to get on that immediately. The link is in the description below, but I'm also going to throw it in the chat here for you. All right, Pale Rider says, I love to watch drunk tennis. I can understand that.
But you know what? But those chicks that start beating each other up, though, like Pale Rider, let's be real. You know, like, competitive women they got a whole nother level of emotional involvement. So if they were drunk, that racket might come across over the net at some point. You know, that was not a point. Bitch, they're pulling hair. Actually, that'd be kind of fun, Pale Rider. You know what? I take it back. That would be better than NASCAR drunk.
Put them in bikinis, make them drunk.
Yes.
And then maybe instead of just the regular kind of court, you put them like on, I don't know, and put
an octagon with a net across it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage says, don't tell me what to do with my coffee. Who the hell do you think you are?
Johnny, what are you doing with your coffee other than drinking it? That's all I'm saying.
These young kids nowadays, they're putting it to the wrong area.
They'll butt chug anything, Vinny.
Unbelievable.
Creators Outlet says this is not the stream to watch while eating dinner. Poor Sandy's all confused. I'm sorry, Sandy. This is just it's a thing with Walton. Anytime Walton's around, we're talking about coffee and the anus and having inappropriate relations with plant life. It's just the guy has issues, but we love him anyway.
One day, Sandy. Listen, Sandy. Listen. Some Nerd Cookies, channel Nerd Cookies, said her mom gave people coffee enemas, and I thought that was the grossest thing I'd ever freaking heard. And then ever since then, Red Gaze won't let it go and keeps perpetuating false narratives about me.
Red Gaze? What are you talking about? I barely said a word. It's the chat. The chat knows who you are, Steven.
Right?
You started it.
Oh, look, Stefan's calling you out, yo.
Stefan, what's up? It's my man crush right there.
Yeah, I can get down with some drunk beach volleyball.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I'd love to see. Could you imagine? It would be chaos. Those women would be beating each other. They'd be pulling the ref down off that little basket thing on the seat thing. That'd be great.
Time Prophet wants to know if you're on the can, just in case you have any accidents.
No, Time Prophet. No.
But yeah, anyway, check out Dig Two Graves. Do you have any last remarks you want to make about the project before we go, Jim?
I probably should, but I don't know. I did extend the campaign out. A few people were chatting me saying that I should extend it, so I went ahead and did that. So
Good.
We added 20 days on it, so get some more eyes on it. So I am very new to Indiegogo, so I am still trying to find the audience as I go. So
Well,
gotcha,
brother.
man. Well, the audience is here. It's I hate to recommend Twitter to people, but for promotion, it is somewhat necessary.
Yeah, I put all my time into Instagram because that's what people told me for Kickstarter. When I came to Indiegogo, they're like, no, it's Twitter. And I'm like, oh, I don't use Twitter. So now I'm relearning how to use Twitter.
Gaze, keep all this information. Are you going to be on Rogue Entertainment this weekend?
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
All right, let's promote Jim's book. Let's get him up to 1,000. Let's promote this book. All right, let's get him some backers. We'll do that this weekend.
That's why Walter's, Steve's my favorite.
Well, I mean, that just says
no. I love indie
about
creators.
you, Jim.
Look, man, you're more than two handfuls. I'm coming in. Yeah, we going to Denny's together. It's happening.
Look out!
What a man chooses to do with coffee doesn't. I'm not going to judge him on that. What it takes to wake up in the morning. Hey, I've been there. Sometimes you need that extra boost.
Yeah, okay. I got some boost for you, brother.
The best part of waking up is Walton in your cup.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
It's the worst part. The worst wake up ever.
So,
I think Stefan's getting jealous over here, Steven. You better just calm it down. All right, you gotta pick one each week. Okay.
My bad. No, I love seeing this. I love seeing indie creators. This art's beautiful. I like the way that you describe this comic, and I want to see this story. I want to hear more about this story. I love the independent community. Been betrayed over and over again by the industry, and now we're seeing all these people who are really an inspiration to one another. Jim, someone inspired you to get this done, and you're going to inspire someone else to put out their idea, to work hard and get that done. And I love seeing that level of imagination and creativity going on around us. So hail to you, brother. Hail to Two Graves. Guys, if you could please share out links for this out on your social media. Support independent creators. Every book sold is a fuck you to the industry that hates you. So let's support each other, support good campaigns, good projects, and we will all grow together. Thank you. Hail.
Absolutely. Hail, Frog G. Good to see you, my man. Before we go real quickly, we had one more creator that unfortunately had to leave before the time came. But yeah, check out Shift as well. I'm going to throw the link for that in the chat. It's also in the description. But yeah, I'm not going to pitch somebody else's project. Go check it out, read it for yourself. And yeah, we'll be having Connery on again very soon. So yeah, check that out. Also, don't forget, Shadow the Kraken is still in demand. Vinny, my man, you want to take the reins on this one?
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, guys, please do continue to support this one. This is campaign number 6. Very trusted. I had 5 campaigns before this one, but yeah, I'm still aiming to get this done by the end of the year, bleeding into early 2022. I am the writer, artist. I do it all on this. And yeah, if you guys are into pirate stories, this is one hell of a ride. I think you guys are going to enjoy. It's going to have some historical stuff in here, but we are going to be exploring kind of like the madness of man in this as well, and how dark things could get for an individual, and if they could find redemption again or their way back into the light. So we do follow our main character, who he's part of the Royal Navy. He ends up kind of doing his own thing, and he becomes a pirate. His team, they were a very nasty crew, so he's doing his own thing. But on top of all that, you are going to have great villains in here. You're going to have beautiful women. You're going to have awesome locations, ship battles, everything you need. Plus, there's also a supernatural element in this story as well. So it's not just, a history lesson or anything like that. But we're not afraid to go places either. There's going to be some slave trade stuff going down in this world as well. If you guys want to know more about pirates, kind of how they even started in the Caribbean, I will eventually be talking about that throughout the series as well. And lots of other really cool twists and surprises. So, yeah, please continue to support this one. I promise you guys, best quality every time, 50 pages minimum. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. So,
absolutely, check it out. Frog G got the link in the chat there. It's also in the description. Sandy, yeah, Allie, this is a little bit too early for Allie, so we're going to try to put together something later in the near future for her. So, yeah, keep your eye out for that. And last but not least, Sunstorm Wings of Vengeance is also in demand. We're really trying to hit that 15K stretch goal as quickly as we can, because this is going into production very, very, very soon. And obviously we got to cut off stretch goals at some point. So Stretch goal for this one is the cover art, Vinny's cover art, as in the form of a magnet, which I think would be pretty cool. So if we don't hit it, that's all good. But I'd really like to. You guys have been awesome, very awesome. Just backing all these campaigns, getting the word out, just helping everybody out. You know, the constant, as Walton will say, reach arounds. It really is. It helps.
No shortage of reach arounds in the gays community. Thank you.
Boy.
Absolutely, yeah. It helps a great deal. So yeah, every person you tell might tell even one more. It still helps. So yeah, thanks for always being out there, for always helping out, and just getting the word out about these projects. Because as Stephen Walton likes to say,
oh, every book sold is an FU to the industry that hates you. Support independent creators.
Absolutely. Good
I
job,
thought it
my
was
man.
be, did I do that? Never mind.
Can I do that? I hate you, mother. I hate y'all. Stefan, what'd you do to me when you came on earlier? Got a cooler name.
You got your boner all crooked.
Cooler everything.
Whitebeard Sky Daddy, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Johnny Cage says, didn't even have to boldly read into promoting his own book this time. Yeah, it's in the back of my mind now all the time, Johnny Cage. He really does. He comes in here and just throws it down, make sure that I promote my own stuff as well. And I appreciate that. Johnny Cage is a good dude. But yeah, check out Dig Two Graves. Check out The Veil Walker. Check out Shift. All the links for all these are in the description below. Also, Bonds is in demand. But thank you all very much. You guys are awesome. Jim, Stefan, it was really very good to meet you guys. But yeah, we're going to take it out now, and we will catch you all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.